Hello to all traders, whether you are using Elliott waves or not. This is a video for Elliott waves on cryptos. So welcome again to another video. This week it took a while to appear once again because I've been a bit busy. That can be good and bad. Bad because the updates are delayed. Good because today I'm gonna do 4 different coins. Okay, we're gonna have a look on BTC as always, on Luna, on ENJ, as well as on VeChain. Well, BTC is a gift. VeChain is what my community on YouTube wants and voted, and Luna, it's pretty much what the Quirino Cycle community voted. But because we did Luna last time and we're gonna do a quick one on it, I've also included the second more voted coin, which was ENJ, and because they love it, I just have to go for it. With that said, it's going to be a quick one, guys. You can watch all the previous videos. We see where we've left, okay? Everything is on the playlist in order to know where we were, what has changed, where we're heading based on the change, if there has been some, okay? But most importantly, what you will receive today is the last update. So this is the most important thing to remember. So as I've mentioned last time as well, I'm also running my Telegram channel. If you're interested, you can contact me, and you can find my details in the About section on YouTube, nowhere else. There's been a lot of scams. I've actually reported quite a few people already. So pay attention to who you're speaking to, because if you don't have my Telegram via the YouTube About section, it's not me. So that's just a warning. Be alert. Without further ado, no financial advice. Let's go for a quick analysis, and starting off with BTC, then Luna, ENJ, and VeChain. Okay, guys, just a quick update, not update, actually just showing you again that last time we talked about BTC main scenario, and why I'm still looking at this as a main is because I don't believe that any of these volumes belonging in this wave going up are good for a wave 3 impulse, unless if of course, and that was in the alternative as I've mentioned before, unless if of course this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. They would be fine for a last terminal wave, but still they are very low. So for that reason, I remain, with this being my main. That's one of the reasons. But the main reason is because we have not confirmed the real high, which is the April high. We have not confirmed a break above it. This is the confirmed all-time high so far, guys. These two attempts here are a false break, okay? So for that reason, I have this as my main, but it's very close as well to the scenario where that might have this 5 wave might be the 5th wave, okay? So my 4 would be here and my 5th would be here, which means we are done, and nobody wants that. That means we're gonna go down quite a bit. So with my scenario, we could still do a triangle, which means, we cannot go as low. We can do an ABC. We can do pretty much anything but a few options. It can also be a running flat. Okay, and again, finishing much higher than what the 5th ending up here would mean. So there is many different scenarios, and right now we're at a point where a few of them are not equally, just a tiny bit, they're very close to one another in terms of probabilities, okay? Last time we talked about how important this channel trend line is, and we've bounced there. We also talked about how important this trend line is, okay, and we are now trading between these two levels. a random apex that either is going to break up or down. There is a lot of talk that this is 1 and 2 and that the first wave ended here, i.e. this is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and we'll have an ABC here. I don't believe in this flat. Okay, it's a bit forced. Okay, and secondly, I see people calling this an ABC and that is so wrong. It cannot be an ABC even if it's a flat. Even if we do get the flat, regardless of what I believe, this is a W, X and Y in wave B. There is no ABC. Okay, now regardless, here's what I'm looking from here. This is a 5-wave move to the downside, very clear. This looks like to me an ABC and then a continuation to the downside. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 for A, B and C is going to get us very low. It's not too possible. Coming down to the 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 would validate this is a running flat. We're going to end wherever we're going to end and we're going to start moving higher once again. And that 4 will be here. And the other scenario, of course, up to the 3rd. It means that this is an ABC instead, which means this is the first wave up. This is the second wave. And this is going to continue higher. And in this wave, as is going to be a wave 3, we definitely want to see volumes increasing. Because as I said, I'm not a fan of this being much of an impulse to the upside because the volumes are not looking supportive. Okay, so we would really have to see how that pans out. But regardless, it's very likely that we're going to see this move to the downside continue. Okay, well, if it's going to be a wave 1, your wave 2 according to guidelines can come down to 40k, right? If it is a wave 5 of a running flat or something, we can probably go to around 34k. Okay, if this is simply an ABC, and I should have not removed that, we can probably go down to 40k again. Okay, ABC. If this ended where it's ended now, that means it's going to start moving higher, but to me it doesn't look like that's going to have much more space to move up. Okay, it would be something like 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 in my opinion because of the volumes. So whether this is 1 or A, there still looks to be some short-term expectation of a potential move higher. We did the 38.2, which is fine. It's a Fibonacci level, but due to this impulse over here, okay, I think we're going to get an ABC. Maybe we'll go up to 60, maybe we're going to go up to 62, 50, 63, which if I'm not mistaken, around 63k is also the gap from the CME. And then from there, do another leg down at least. So it's going to be an ABC as long as we remain below the 100 Fibonacci or above in that case. The chances of that being 1, 2 and 3 instead are going to increase when prices go past 100 Fibonacci. Okay. In the shorter term, quickly, that's what I see. For those who want to take a picture or whatever, so you can debate and argue, this is it. I'm looking at a 5-wave move down, ABC, Y for now looks ended, but I'm not liking how this looks so far, okay, for a first wave up, but we'll have to go with the data. For now, looks like Y is done, but ideally, well, it might also turn into an X and a Z. It might be a triple zigzag, okay, because as I said before, it's very hard to assume this is going to continue higher. It's corrective. It can continue higher, maybe up to the previous stop. That will be it. If it goes up to the previous stop, maybe it's going to be some sort of triangle as well. ABC. It cannot be a two wave for a triangle, right? Just to remember that. So either way, I think we're gonna get a move to the upside fairly soon, and that move is likely to get us, if we assume a very close low to the previous, can get us up to 61. Okay, can get us obviously higher as well, but 61 is going to be a very important level, because if it breaks, it's also going to increase the chances of that move being, you know, being an actual impulse to the upside, unless if that turns out to be a B. Then if that's going to be a B, I mean a triangle, if it's going to be a triangle, then there's no chance that's going to be an impulse to the upside. Okay, so if we get a triangle, well, we pretty much know more confidently that it's not going to continue higher much. Okay, now let's jump quickly on what is next on Luna. On Luna, we talked about, hold on. Last time we talked about potential ending diagonal. We talked and move to the downside. We talked about a leading diagonal and move to the side, a continuation up, and neither of them happened. What has happened is that one of the things that I did mention, if you remember, is that if we do not break below 35, then that is likely to continue higher. So we didn't break below 35, and this is what's happening right now. Now, this for a third wave is looking okay. Okay. So what are we looking for here? Okay, we are looking when we are waiting the fifth wave up. Okay, so we're gonna see where this can go. Let me just actually do that now. We can go all the way to the beginning, whatever. 3 and 4. We'll look at 38 and 62. 62, I'm not sure if I should, well, 0, 1. Okay, actually that want to, where are those from? That's the question. Let's do that. Well, we can go up to around 100. Okay, in that respect, we're going to use another method to quickly make a target, and that's going to be after 65. We're looking at 126. With 65 is already done, so 100 is the next level, 125 is the next level, medium term. Now, since we are looking at the minor degree and we're looking at wave 5 to end, yeah, we can assume after 59 we've got the 106. Again, we're very close to the 100, and then the same method as with a minor with the intermediate 4. If I manage to get this on, look at this, 162 done. So the next level up is 86. Okay, can we get there? 86, remember that number. Well, let's look at this a bit closer now. What am I saying? I am saying a multi-structural move to the upside. Okay, so 1, yeah, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Although I never like this as 1, I prefer an ABC here because it just looks more like it. But it's what the structure tells us. So 1, 2, and then you've got 1, 2. Okay, and that's the 3, the 4, and the 5. 4, the 3, then the 4 and the 5. Okay, makes sense, right? Good. So as you can understand, internally we've got 1 and 2, and we're going to get 3, 4, and 5. Okay, that's what we have internally, and that's going to be in the minute degree, right? So the question is, where do we stop in once on the gray? Where do we stop on the blue? Well, on the gray, we want wave 3 to go up to around 115 to confirm the impulse. But if we stop around the 100, which is the 73.43, then there's going to be good chances that might turn it into an ending diagonal. So it would be something like 1. It would be something like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Something like this. Okay. Actually, even the 1, yeah, the 1 might be even here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That means when I get a dip below 55 in between waves. Okay, so I'm not really a fan of this. What I prefer and what I see here, at least for now, is for this wave to come up all the way to around 80 or so. to confirm that it is indeed an impulse and no part of something else. Okay, we always prefer the third wave to be 162. It's not necessary because usually the fifth wave, we can also have a double extension, but the fifth wave is usually the one that does the trick. But if we take into account that our wave 3 here in the gray degree, the 1618 is like at 115, so we'll be very happy to get internally the 80 for wave 3. Okay, and then that 3 could even be an ending diagonal. But you know, the idea here is not to get the diagonal or to get the double extension. The idea here is to at least manage to get to a level where the guidelines suggest so that the chances of moving higher, you know, remain somewhat elevated. Otherwise, well, we're going to have to revisit again in a week's time and see how that changes. And you see from last week, there has been a change. And the change is that we're looking more bullish now. And we're in a wave 3, and we expect a correction. And after that correction, we expect another leg up. The RSI and the MACD don't do much, okay? Indicate that there is continuation to the upside. All they did is that they gave us a bullish signal here on the RSI. See that? This is a hidden divergence. And the rest is on the chart. Engine. I did a slight change here as well because I just well, it's not like it's invalid, but we talked about this, you know, and this. So, you know, breaking levels like this and doing overthrows like this, it's not really, it's a bit forced. So we've had something like a leading diagonal here the other day, something like that. Actually, it was something like this. Hold on, it was something like this, and that was 1 and 2. But as you can understand, yeah, it doesn't, especially with this here, it doesn't look like, you know, it belongs to a leading diagonal over here now. Okay, it looks like this is probably an impulse, and we are currently looking at a potential beginning of an ending diagonal in wave 3 of not the last wave up. There is more than that, just that. Okay, so what am I saying here is this: our 4 goes down here in the main scenario. That's the first wave. The second wave is a running flat. Then we'll have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, and we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Ending diagonal. Why? Because I've got an ABC in here internally. Okay, so this is what I'm looking. Similarly, we use the Fibos. Yeah, this one, which is from here to wave 1, the gray one, gets 162 at 643. That would really pretty much confirm that we're on an impulse to the upside. So 660 is a very important level. And I mean, I don't know we're gonna get there now, but you know, it looks like, at least for now, it looks like there is good potential that that's gonna be there in a few weeks or so, unless if that happened. Okay. If that happened, it means that we're going to have a short wave 3, and the wave that is going to extend is very likely to be the 5th one. Okay, and that will mean that we're going to get a correction down to around 270 or so, do a double 4, and then continue higher. Okay, and that higher is going to be our wave 3. Then we'll get the 4th, and then we'll get the 5th wave. Okay, in that case, we should be looking at 38 and 62 would be the 520 and the 824. Okay, now if we look at the internal structure, the white one, okay, we're just looking at where wave 5 can potentially be done. One level would be, hold on, because something's moved here. One level would be the 388, which is already done. Another level would be the 5085. Now we missed that for a few cents. Okay, and it could be a shame that it's done. Yeah, 38, 62, then we'll look at 1. So the next level to look towards the upside will be 779. Okay, either way, this is the main, and it looks like there is good potential for more upside. However, we might get a leg down to around 250 or so first. Okay, so be careful, because this move to the downside also looks a bit impulsive. Okay, and that looks like an ABC. That looks 1, 2, 1, 2. So we might slide a little bit lower before the good upside leg. Okay, now don't also forget that might turn out to be an anti-diagonal. What I don't like about this anti-diagonal though is, but I have to go with the ABC over here, is the fact that it might turn being something that is going to take a while to complete when we compare to this. Okay, and usually, you know, I mean, usually the waves should have equal sort of duration, but in cryptos usually they don't. We just have to go with what the guidelines are telling us. The alternative is that we're going to move lower, much lower, and that is going to be a part of some sort of impulse to the upside. That's like A, B, and C. So it's going to be 1 and 2, that's going to be 3 and 4, and that's going to be the fifth one. And that can be an ending diagonal, by the way. So for that, what we have to be careful of in case we start moving lower down is pay attention to 236, if we ever get there, right? 236 is a very important level of invalidation. So, and that's it for that. And quickly on VET, this is where we've left last time. I was looking at this as a wave B. I'm still waiting for wave C to be done. And then the wave B is exactly where it's ended. And then we started moving lower down. Last time we watched we had the video were up here or something. So we started moving lower down. And that looks like this move looks quite impulsive for now. Because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's 1, right? And then you get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah. That could be, you know, like 1, 2, that could be 1, 2 again, 3, 4, 5, for 3, then 4, then 5, because there is more downside here. If we take that previous low into consideration, we are doomed. That still hasn't managed to provide a decent structure to assume that, okay, we can start moving higher slowly. The only thing that holds us right now, and we are very actually close to that, it's remaining within this channel. If we lose this channel, well, the downside potential is going to be, getting down is going to be more possible. We've bounced also at the 50, so if we do lose 1032 and then we head to 89 or so and we'll lose the 62 as well, then very likely that this is going to be the main. And we have to go with this for now because there is nothing else that has higher probability for that exact reason, because it still looks that we are correcting. Okay, someone could say, well, what if we finished, you know, down here? That is my 4, and then that is like 1, and that is 2, that's going to be 1 and 2, and then that's going to be 1 and 2. You understand? So what you're going to have? You're going to have 3 1 2s. Just doesn't make much sense, does it? It cannot be a leading diagonal. It's just very overthrown. Okay, what it could be, but again, it just looks a bit, you know, it's like some sort of weird looking triangle. Okay, so it would be A, B, C, D, E. The invalidation for this, which is of course an alternative and not really close one, unfortunately is down at 8150. So it's very far, okay, to still see whether this is the case or not. Now, if we did do a truncation indeed, down here as I have placed, right, then the chances of that being 1, 2, and 1, 2 are way higher. But what I'm looking, and I don't really, I'm not really keen in providing this as a main or even as an alternative, but I have to tell you that though it's here. It's that does not look impulsive at all. Okay, so I'm going with an alternative that is this. This is wave 1. This will be wave 2. Then we get 3, 4, and 5, which means that this is up here an ABC leg. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I will be here. Yeah, ABC leg, and that's going to be a 5-wave leg to the downside. Maybe we're going to stop around 23 or so. Who knows? That would be a good one actually. And that, of course, is going to be a running flat in wave 2. So we would have wave 4. Actually, wave 4 still here with a truncation. That would be 1 and 2. That would be 1. My 2 would be A, B, and C. And then would move higher. Okay. So that's going to be all for the day, guys. I'm pretty sure you have a lot to watch. and a lot of comments to leave on the comment section. So go ahead, and as always, take it easy. I'm here to help. So until next time, take care, trade safe, and as always, do your own research. This is not investment advice.